Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to With Lifestyle with Dr. Moby. I'm Dr. Moby, and today we have an excellent guest. Let's welcome the icon of fashion industry, Mrs. Cleo.
Hi everybody.
Okay, so Mrs. Cleo is successfully doing DMV Fashion Week starting August 19th and continuing. And today we have an unique opportunity to know more about her as well as about Fashion Week. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Mrs. Cleo. What do you do?
I'm Clyopatra Couture. I have a fashion brand called Clyopatra Couture where I design from swimwear to ready to wear to couture dresses and suits. Um, I also run a mental health clinic called My Medical Center, which is something that I think is so well needed. And if you're in the art industry, you know that the fashion and mental health kind of go together because a lot of the people in the entertainment industry are a little bit cuckoo. So yeah,
Uh,
and I'm a mother of two.
I think you used a very good sentence saying little bit. I think probably is more than little bit. So, but
Mhm.
tell me a little bit about these two passions. I mean, they are quite different. First of all, when did you start about fashion?
So actually, I'm the last child out of 8 children.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started fashion very early. My mother used to, back in the day when they had the finishing school. So my mother actually attended the finishing school before she got married to my dad.
Mm-hmm.
So as a little kid, I watched my mother sew up dresses for my older brothers and my older sisters, and as well as for my dad. And I used to and make dresses for herself. So I used to sit with her and watch her. And I think as early as middle school, I designed and hand stitched a dress for my niece, my one of my older sister's daughter. That's how when my passion for fashion started. Then I was sent to England to school, and my dad sent me to go to law school. I wanted then change to business administration because I really didn't want to do law. And I attended the American College in London, and they had a fashion department. But being an African kid, I knew that my dad would kill me. First, I changed from law to business administration. So if I changed from business to fashion, it would be like, yeah, I can survive. So that's when I started. I started modeling back then, and I was modeling for my fellow students. But I realized that as I was wearing their clothes, I'll start changing it. Like, let's change the sleeves. I started redesigning, and by the time I graduated from college, I opened up the first black bridal store in England called WIA Brides.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I started in the fashion industry.
Very nice, very impressive. And I think it first of all, a lot of things in fashion industry, as you know, being belonging to minority yourself and myself, had come in this
Mhm.
industry, which is dominated by mostly few people. To come and make your name is a big thing, right? And then even
Yes.
dare to stand up and say, we are also have very creative ideas, and we would like to
Mhm.
contribute to our best of knowledge and strength. And I think it means a lot. I'm sure you
Yeah.
understand what I'm trying, right? So also,
Absolutely.
so tell me a little bit about what is your inspiration about fashion? Like, what inspires you to create new dresses or new themes or
I think it's a mixture of things. I grew up in England.
mm-hmm,
I'm originally from Nigeria. I've lived in the States, but
mm-hmm,
even before I got to this point, is the things that how I see people looking. I look at my culture. Like you said, I look at my culture, I look
mm-hmm,
at the textures of the fabric, I look at the colors, I look at the buildings, and little things give me inspiration. I could be in church and I'll have an idea. It could be something that flashes something what somebody says that kind of in my head it translates into a silhouette, and those are the things that inspire me. I look at some of the other fashion icons that that design outside the box, the rigid square box that you're supposed to be in. People like Jean-Paul Gaultier. I like the creativeness, the craziness, the fact that you can let your mind go to the spaces that other people don't go to. Those are the things that inspire me. You
Okay,
know,
very nice. So, do you like to experiment a lot with colors or kind of uniqueness, like different blends that you blend them together, or versus do you use more colors to kind of define your brand?
I actually blend everything. I used a lot of African prints and African artwork, and I love to create my own fabrics. So I use those to create my own fabrics. I'm inspired by the European dresses. I'm inspired by the dresses from the early 19th century. Those things are things that inspire me, and those are the things that I incorporate. I mix a culture of African artwork, African fashion, African fabrics, and then I mix it up with the European ones to a lot of the times to get what I want.
Okay. And so also tell me how do you relax? Do you do music? Do you do meditation? What relaxes Mrs. Cleo?
Music and a glass of wine or tequila.
Music
Yeah.
and so also and so for your fashion, I'm sure, do you try to also get some inspiration from African music or music beats or something?
Yes, I do. I So earlier on in my career, I think I must have been about 23 years old. I won an award for Keeper of Heritage from Essence Magazine. Susan Taylor of Essence Magazine gave me the award. And a lot of the things that I did back then, and I still do it till today, is incorporate the things, the movements of the rhythms from the music, as well as think about photographs and see photographs from way back in the day from my grandparents, how they dressed up. Those are the things that inspire me. A lot of the music that we have, the Afro beats, gets me into the right mood to start sketching.
Mhm. Yeah, that is true. And also, important is dances. I'm sure the African dances, like music, dance, and fashion. I think they all kind of go together, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, yes.
Okay. So tell me about some of the, because I don't know some of the culture or some of those famous African dances, and I'm sure my audience will love to hear about some of the those themes which are very popular, or any back of your head you can think of.
Okay, so to the audience, so in Africa, in most parts of Africa, and Africa being a continent, every country is different,
Mm.
but they use the music and the drums and the guns to actually tell a story.
Okay.
And there's some artists that have carried that. One of them is fella Ransom Kuti. He's now passed away, but
Mm.
he's somebody that his music gets me to the right frame of mind to actually concentrate to work. I like people like Techno Mouse. He's very famous, but he's not as famous as people like Davido. But I like his music for the fact that he creates his rhythms, he creates the lyrics. He's an artist, so he's rounded. It's not just commercial, but he's more creative than commercial. People like Tiwa Savage, she's like my ultimate African female musician. So you can check them out. They're really
Sure,
good.
I'm definitely gonna check out. Also, tell me a little bit about. Do you also have some with your fashion? Do you also portray more female strength or male or both?
I do both. I do both. I think that fashion, the caption for my fashion line, Clyopatra Couture, is fashion without borders. I do both. I design for females, I design for males, I design for transsexual. I just think that the world of fashion is open to everybody. I don't do a lot of children's wear, but I do like custom made children's wear for some families. But I design for everybody.
Okay, so you do. So also tell us a little bit about creating DMV Fashion Week.
So when I relocated from England to here, I left the fashion industry for a little while. I went into medical. And then some years later, my oldest brother, Obi, God rest his soul, now told me that I needed to go and do that which gives me fun. Um, and fashion gives me a lot of happiness. So when he passed away in 2012, it was a wake up call for me. I just realized that life was too short. He died at the age of 52. And I was like, okay, if he can die that early, anything can happen to anybody. Tomorrow doesn't, we don't know what tomorrow holds, basically. And so I went back into fashion, and doing that, I came up with the concept of things that I grew up with in England as a teenager. And one of them was the Midsummer Madness. So I decided to create a fashion show called Midsummer Madness Fashion Show. And I ran that for 4 years, and it grew. It got bigger every year, to the point that I launched the first line for Jeremy Grant, the NBA player. I did a fashion show for the East Coast NBA mothers, and everybody came up with one concept. You like to help, you like to elevate people's lives. Why don't you do a fashion week here that can give the other designers the exposure? And that's how DMV Fashion Week came on. And in DMV Fashion Week, I don't make it to be about me or my brand. I make it to be, I spotlight the other designers that we have. I spotlight models that are still up and coming, models that other people don't give the opportunity to be able to show the talent that they have. Um, I don't know if you know this, Dr. Moby, but in the DMV area, people are very clicky. You have to be in the clique. You have to be known. You have to show what you have before you are accepted into the group. But DMV Fashion will break those barriers. I think everybody, if you're, we did a casting call two Sundays ago, and and I told the models, we're not here to critique you, we're not here to criticize you, we're here to help you. So, but show us the best you have. And in doing that, we started teaching them, even when they came to casting. That's the concept behind DMV Fashion Week. That's how I came up with it, to be able to give the exposure and show people what we have in the DMV area. And we have this is the nation's capital. The White House is here, 100%. So, but what do we have? We have fashion. Even though people like New York and Atlanta would think that they have better fashion than us, I don't think so. I think we do.
And I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I've been in DMV area, and I am seeing a lot of now. There was some slowdown because of COVID,
Hmm.
and it was everywhere in New York too. So we did a fashion show in New York 2 years or so ago, and then COVID, came, and then everything kind of fell apart. After that, now I think we are starting back in DMV, and
Hmm.
uh, and I'm super excited too when I saw yours, and I said, well, I saw your promo, and they were amazing. The concept, the pictures, kind of tells 1,000 words. So, and you have a great team, and I always kind of admire your team too. And
Yeah,
so
thank you.
I think you will do very well. So tell me a little bit about this fashion show. This is starting on 19th and
Hmm.
going through. So tell me a little bit about important time frames or important things which anybody can. When is the biggest? When is the main event?
So all the 3 days are the main events. The 19th is the our VIP reception. So that's where we welcome all the designers, we welcome all the celebrities that are going to come, people like yourself. Um, and it's like a way to network. We welcome the buyers, we welcome the media houses to be able and we introduce them to the different designers that are going to be there. So it's like almost like a pre-party.
Mm.
Then the Saturday is our cultural and young designers forum, where urban wear designers are coming to showcase their beautiful collection. Young designers are coming in. We have young models modeling on the day. Then the Sunday is the more seasoned designer showcase. So all the veteran designers are going to be able to showcase their designs on Sunday.
Okay, very nice, very nice. So you're right. They all 3 days have different activities, different
Mhm.
festivities, and I think that means a lot because it does create a lot for everyone. I think it's gonna be fun, people. So
Yes.
everybody should get to the website and I think get your tickets and
Mhm.
be part of this important once a lifetime, I would say, event where it is creating so much buzz and energy for everybody. People are really talking highly about your fashion show and DMV Fashion Week. So I think kudos to your strength as well as your concept and giving voice to many people where you're right, there are many people who might not be in the mainstream, but
Mhm.
because with your help people can be really part of this big industry.
Mhm.
I think you're doing phenomenal job with that.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. That's the idea, the concept behind DMV Fashion Week. And the DMV Fashion Week is also open to, it's an international fashion week. So people from all over the world are coming, and it's a multicultural showcase. So we don't want to give anything away, but the designers that we have are amazing designers, and they represent different cultures.
And I will be definitely also broadcasting some segments for your show, and that will give us a lot of for everybody to watch your work,
Mhm.
and also a lot of things they can learn. There's a lot of learning whenever you watch these creative ideas. People
Yes.
get a lot of inspiration. Also, I know you do a lot of for mental health, so tell me a little bit about that part of your career.
So, Mysore Medical Center, I set it up. You know how you think to yourself that depression is like crazy, is bad, and it can never happen to you because you're so well put together. But in the twinkle of an eye, it can happen to anybody. So when I lost three of my brothers, almost like back to back, um, I lost me. I lost my essence. I had three sisters, four brothers than me. So I grew up knowing my brothers, and a lot of people thought I didn't have sisters because I was always with my brothers. So losing three of them um, was a shock to my system. So I sold my home health agency and took a quiet time for myself. Then I relaunched my fashion line. And in doing that, I'm trying to get myself together. I decided to, if I can walk through this depression, this thing that, especially in the African community, is a taboo to say that mentally you're not okay. But I think we all should talk about it. And I decided, my late brother Andy, on his dying bed, was like, you enjoy fashion, you're doing great in it, but you also enjoy healthcare. Why don't you go back into healthcare, but this time channel a way that is suitable for you? And that's why I launched Mysore Medical Center, where we have psychiatric nurses working for us, psychiatric doctors working for us, therapists working for us. So we offer counseling services, family therapy, and we work in hand with my nonprofit House of Cleopatra, and we take up people from homelessness and put them into homes, and then we offer them home supported employment services and treatment services for them to become okay and be able to move back into the community and assimilate into the community and get jobs.
Okay, well, I think you're doing phenomenal work both ways, with your mental health as well as your fashion. And I see that, you have really a great heart to help those people who need help. So, God bless you for that effort. So,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
okay, so any final thought or message you would have for our listeners?
Um, what I would say is come to go buy your tickets. attend the DMV
That's
Fashion
true.
Week,
That's true.
see all the latest trends. You can buy the tickets at the Eventbrite. Search for DMV Fashion Week, or you can go to our website www.dmv underscore Fashion Week. You can purchase the ticket through that avenue. But more than anything, come and support talented models and the designers and see all the latest trends that are now transitioning, especially after the COVID. So come out and have fun. We also have some local artists and some international artists coming to perform.
Yes, and I can't wait to meet a lot of great artists actually. You have some of which probably I will see them on 19th.
Yes.
So looking forward to meet you in person as well as your team, and thank you for coming to our show. And
Thank you
we'll
so
see.
much. It's been
Thank,
great.
thank you. Take care.
All
Thank you.
right. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.